Hey everyone, Razzbowski here, and welcome back to Theory Thursday. And oh baby, have we got a spicy episode this week, which actually is probably gonna be the last Theory Thursday before the Sister Location drops, because you know what Scotty boys like, and he might release it at any point next week. But today's episode, we're gonna be discussing the, well, the lack of teaser on ScottGames.com. We used to have the Ennard mask, but now that mask has miraculously disappeared. What has happened to this mask? Where has it gone? And what is the significance? That is what we're gonna be discussing today, so get those butts prepared. Who's with me this week?
You've got, of course, Ryan.
Other Ryan.
I'm recording.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And Dorco.
Oh, hell yeah, this is going to be a hyped-ass episode. If you're excited, then please hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's shoot for 87 beautiful likes, and we'll dive straight into this. Woo!
So we should probably start with this whole discussion and ask why the mask is actually gone. I mean, 1 minute we saw this with the release date of the game, and now all of a sudden it seems like the mask has disappeared, or maybe it's been taken by a certain character named Ennard. I mean, we've seen the teaser where he seems to be wearing this mask, and kind of one half is on, the other part is kind of like slanted off. It seems very interesting why Scott would choose to show us this mask in particular, and then all of a sudden just completely remove it. So, I mean, why do you guys actually think this mask could have been removed? Like, what effect do you think Scott's trying to generate from this?
Well, we know Scott likes to add suspense and tension. I think he's doing it primarily to build up hype for the game. Like, for example, with the whole Freddy hat, after Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was released, I believe it was. Yep. Was it after Five Nights at Freddy's 4 with the Freddy hat in the spotlight?
No, 3.
Yeah.
That was before.
That was 3. This was for the introduction of FNAF 4.
Well, yeah, it's still the same thing. Like, he likes to build tension, because when that went missing, there was loads of like traffic towards him, and people were like, I think what he's trying to do is just build up the hype. I'm not sure. I think maybe because obviously we still got, I think it's the 7th of October, so from recording now it's like 2 weeks or a week, just over a week actually, Jesus. And I think that he's gonna probably just before release, because I remember Five Nights at Freddy's 3, he actually started releasing teasers on the day of release, which was weird. Like, so I think that maybe he'll replace Ennard. Well, he'll replace the mask with something else, like a close-up of Baby, close-up of Ballorina with her eyes open, maybe something like that.
I think what we could be seeing next is actually Ennard itself wearing the mask, or having the mask in his hands, or something like that. I think that would be quite nice, just to see where the mask has gone. Again, it would be sneaky of Scott if he did it, because he knows everybody's checking the site, because they're like, where are the teaser, Scott? So what he's going to be doing is, if he just left the image black, but obviously if you highlighted it, then maybe you can see Ennard up in the top corner with the mask in its arms or tentacles or whatever the hell they are, and then that would generate some more hype as well. I think that would be nice. But I think Ennard's taken the mask. Again, we've been talking about this for weeks on end now, that in the control module, the main control module room, you've actually got Ennard's mask, you've got this mask on the wall, and we've talked about a feature that we know if this mask disappears, then Ennard is out and about. We've already compared the Ennard teaser that we saw on ScottGames.com to this mask, and Ennard is wearing the mask we see here. Obviously, it's slightly opened in the teaser image of Ennard that was on ScottGames.com, and we've just seen a plain mask after that. So, I think Ennard's nicked it, and Scott is saying this is a potential gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. Like Raz said, we've been discussing about this being a gameplay mechanic for a while now. Maybe Ennard is just like a deteriorated endoskeleton, because it can be. It doesn't have to just be wires. It will still have its endoskeleton face, which would be really cool if we saw it somewhere roaming around. And it has to get like the mask or a hat or something else. I don't know whether it's just going to be the mask for him to kill us. It could be. I'm just trying to think of any other parts he could need to kill us, but I don't. Why would he need the mask anyway to kill us? But it's just a gameplay mechanic. We don't have to discuss deeply about that. Why he needs the mask to kill us? Maybe he wants to, like, you know, kill us in style or something. But
he's got his fans. He's got his face on. He can't go out in public without his face on.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it could be something like that. And like, if it is a gameplay mechanic, it's a good teaser. The mask is gone. the next teaser is going to be Ennard possibly holding the mask or wearing the mask, and instead of just having just a face up reveal like he did on Ennard's teaser before, maybe we get to see some of his parts and more of his body.
Yeah, it is interesting because like we don't really understand why Ennard is fixated with this mask, and that's actually something I've been really thinking about, because we know the mask is situated just above the control panel. It's like we can see this mask. It seems to be like just above a fan, and then there's like some kind of ventilation crawl space just underneath. So that means if Ennard is trying to get this mask, he has to make his way into your office, collect the mask, and then like leave or something perhaps, which means that maybe Ennard directly might not be trying to kill you. But we've got teasers like when he's wearing this mask and he seems to be alive and he's saying there's a little of me in every body. Maybe when he gets this mask, something is triggered. Maybe he becomes like this alter ego. Maybe it's like the face of a killer sort of thing. Maybe Scott's trying to go a bit cliche with this. And the fact that it's saying like there's a piece of me in every body, that might be referring to all of the other characters. So perhaps the characters might be trying to kill you initially, but maybe when Ennard actually gets the mask, it changes his kind of character. Maybe he's more aggressive. Maybe it makes all the other animatronics much more aggressive. And maybe it's a much more difficult way to survive. Like, I think this is going to be a mechanic, but it's going to be deeper than just literally putting a mask on and being next to irrelevant, because the fact that Scott's teased this mask now is like potentially the final thing before the release date. This mask is very, very important.
Well, it could be like, what's it? Jacqueline, is it Jacqueline Hyde with like
Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Dr. Jekyll and
kind of
what
a
horrible night to have a curse sort of thing.
Kind of a split personality where like he does put on the mask and he becomes this unbearable creature, whereas like with him without the mask on, it's kind of he's just disrupting the electronics and something. But when he does get that mask on, he actually becomes a physical being, a proper like person, an animatronic that can come after you, which would be terrifying. Maybe you can hear like a giggle in the distance when he comes, and oh wow. Wow.
A giggle in the distance and
just like that.
But what I was thinking was potentially if these animatronics have some sort of or form of sentience, because they are saying don't hold it against us, and we already know the backstory with the souls inside the suits, etc. Maybe if Ennard used to be a full animatronic, as we've speculated before, why would an endoskeleton head have just wires out of it and nothing else? Along with the phrase, there's a little of me in everybody. If he has been cannibalized to service the rest of the robots, then he's been ripped apart. He's been taken apart, and his once pristine body is gone. It's no longer there, and maybe this mask was always once a part of him. So he wants to go get this mask, and it helps him feel whole again. And this would maybe service into his revenge tactic. Why does he attack you? Why does he go after you? Because he sees you as somebody who has torn him apart. And if we're going along the same storyline as before, his body was destroyed once as a child or an adult or whatever, and put into a suit, and then the suit was destroyed again. How much luck? How many times is this guy gonna have bad luck? So maybe he wants to rebuild himself, and then if you're getting in his way, then he takes you out. It could simply be a case of if you avoid him, then you're fine. If you're in the wrong room at the wrong time, then he'll kill you. But if you somehow manage to get away from him and never encounter him in the same room, then maybe you're okay. Maybe he's not actually fully going after you. Maybe all his entire purpose is to just grab the mask or grab the endoskeleton legs or a cheeky bit of fur to make himself look good. But then again, he seems to be a lot more significant than that.
Like Raz said, don't hold it against us and stuff. We've said this before. But I definitely think Ennard's parts are in all the other animatronics, like different parts of him, which is why the other animatronics are after us, because Ennard is possessing them. He didn't do that on purpose. It's the person who programmed Ennard's fault for putting the parts in all of the animatronics. It's not initially Ennard's fault. But that could be his revenge tactic, like Raz said. He's been pulled apart, and his parts are in all the other animatronics now, and he's thought, oh, okay, I'm going to get revenge and possess all these other animatronics, and I'm going to come after you as well, take my mask back and come after you.
So the final interesting thing that we could talk about is how is Ennard possibly going to work? How is he going to get into the room to grab this mask? How is he going to move about? Is he going to go between the doors, the vents? There are so many different options. Boys, what do you think? How's Ennard going to get about the place?
I think he's going to be like, kind of like a Mangle type of character, where he can climb using his, because to be fair, we haven't really seen his fully body, but we know he's got a lot of wires. So I think he's going to be hard to see, in the corners of rooms or something, climbing the walls in corners. To be fair, I think he could fit through the vents because, like I said, he's just full of wires. So I think he could fit in vents and climb through the vents, but also go through the doors as well. So maybe it's possibly the only animatronic who could do both.
I think it'd be really interesting as well if he can come through the ventilation system. Like, imagine if there's such a situation where you've got to head through that ventilation system and you're greeted midway by him, you've run into him. I mean, that's going to be a jump scare and a half. So maybe the ventilation system, there may be a way, like an up route, maybe like as we run through, there might be like a, I can't remember exactly what they call them, but it's where you can see and look down through them. Maybe you can open the hatch, climb straight in. Another thing as well, because obviously we know that Ennard is going to be the more mangled and, well, the character that we're probably not going to be seeing displayed on front for all the kids and the people who are going to this attraction to see. He's probably going to be in that parts and service room, which is located towards the side of the Funtime animatronics we've seen before. And we actually have, like, the center room, and we've got the parts and service here, and we've got, like, the breaker room over the other side. So I think he's going to disrupt the wires of some kind. And I think we're going to have a time limit to get from this side to the break room, fix it, and get back. Because if we're too slow, he can come in the office in between that time, maybe collect the mask, get back out, and then by the time we get back in, we're kind of like, yes, we've actually solved the electrical problems. And then we look up and the mask is gone, and it's like, fantastic, we've done nothing but make this a living hell.
I was just thinking that maybe it could work like the puppet as well. Like, for example, the whole, you have to do something in order to prevent Ennard from going to the breaker room and snapping all the wires. Like, obviously there's a music box for the puppet, so this time around it could be something that pretty much prevents him. Like, maybe you have to keep a door shut all the time, or a window closed.
Maybe using too much of the power. Maybe the power, because you know we've got a power system in this place. I don't know how much that's going to influence him personally.
Exactly, yeah.
By the way, guys, we're discussing loads of different gameplay mechanics as much as we can because Scott said that this game is going to be completely different, and he actually said that he's kind of worried that some people might not like it, but some people might like it. So we're trying to think of different mechanics, what we've never seen before, and see if it actually works into the game.
Yeah, I mean, one important thing that I actually wanted to mention as well is, like, when you think back to Five Nights at Freddy's 4, most of the circumstances when you'd encounter these characters, maybe at the door or something, they'd always move. There'd always be a movement, whereas before, it'd look through the camera and it'd be just one single still image, apart from Foxy running down the corridor and the jump scares. The Freddos would be moving, you know, like, Foxy would do the jump scare as well. You'd have to shut the doors. Everything was animated rather than it just being, like, still one single frame. I think he's going to be focusing a lot more as well on getting that kind of 3D style much more implemented in this game, and he spent longer than what he's worked on for FNAF 4. So, I mean, this game is going to be insane, and I think he's really focusing on the whole kind of animation side as opposed to just us knowing we're in a static camera. I guess you could say like FNAF 3, because that was the most static game, I think, out of them all.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was another Theory Thursday, and most likely the final one before the sister location, but the hype is real, baby. Let us know your thoughts and feelings on the current teaser/non-teaser, and maybe what you guys think Ennard is all about down in the comment section below. Honestly, thank you all so much for this season of Theory Thursday. It's been an absolute wild ride and very, very exciting, so we do really appreciate it. Look at Doggo's face. He really, really appreciates it. But either way, guys, we're going to get out of here. Remember to check out all the other boys' channels. The links will be in the description below. And hey, drop a like if you did enjoy today's video. And we'll see you all in the sister location. I've been Razzbowski. You've been the beautiful bastards, as always, for watching. And I love each and every single one of you. Goodbye.
I'm gay.